In the quiet town of Wheelsey, where the most exciting events are small-town fairs and Friday night gatherings, an unexpected celestial event shatters the ordinary routine. As locals settle in for the night, a blazing meteor suddenly streaks across the sky, drawing everyone's eyes upward before it crashes into the woods with a resounding explosion. The impact forms a smoldering crater, spewing steam and smoke, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. When the smoke clears, the meteor is revealed to hold a peculiar, pulsing creature with a slimy, rubbery texture, radiating a disturbing glow that hints at its dangerous nature. A local deer hunter, curious about the crash, approaches the site only to recoil in horror as the creature rides, alive and unsettling. This meteor is no ordinary rock from space. It's the vanguard of a parasitic alien life form with an insatiable appetite for new hosts. We're introduced to Grant, a wealthy man who owns several businesses in town. His charismatic exterior masks deep insecurities, especially about his wife, Starla, who could have had any man in town. Starla, a beloved schoolteacher, radiates warmth and generosity, qualities that make her stand out in Wheelsey. However, her marriage with Grant is strained, largely because of his obsessive jealousy and need to control her. Despite his good looks and status, Grant is haunted by the belief that Starla settled for him, leaving him increasingly paranoid about her every move. Sheriff Bill Party, meanwhile, represents the steady, reliable force in town. Known for his level-headedness and kindness, Bill has nursed a quiet affection for Starla since they were young. He watches Grant and Starla's strained relationship with concern, not only because he cares for Starla but because he senses that something ominous is bubbling beneath the surface. On a late-night walk through the woods, Grant stumbles upon the crater site and is mesmerized by the alien mass. The creature seems almost to communicate with him, pulsing rhythmically, drawing him in. Ignoring his instincts, he reaches out and is immediately infected as barbed tendrils latch onto his arm, injecting a venomous substance that rapidly spreads through his veins. Returning home, Grant starts to experience bizarre symptoms, intense body aches, moments of blackouts, and disturbing visions. That night, he loses control during a minor argument with Starla, snapping at her with uncharacteristic rage. His eyes become bloodshot, and his skin takes on a strange, unhealthy sheen. Starla notices his erratic behavior but, out of loyalty, dismisses it as a passing illness. Grant's infection escalates quickly. As the alien parasite assimilates itself into his body, his physical form begins to change grotesquely, his skin turns gray and clammy, and he starts developing slimy growths on his arms and torso. Mentally, Grant becomes fixated on consuming raw meat, buying it in bulk from the local butcher and devouring it in secret. His interactions with Starla and others become increasingly violent and paranoid, often marked by sudden bursts of anger. The alien within Grant forces him to lure animals into his basement, where he begins constructing a fleshy nest for the parasite. In a particularly disturbing scene, he slaughters a neighbor's dog without hesitation, illustrating the growing hold the parasite has over him. The alien parasite's influence spreads beyond Grant, who is now wholly under its control. It starts generating thousands of tiny, slug-like creatures that invade the town, targeting any human host they can find. In a chilling sequence, these slugs slither into homes, slipping through doors and windows, attaching themselves to people's mouths and noses while they sleep, forcing their way into the host's bodies. As these creatures invade the townsfolk, a collective mind begins to form, linking all infected individuals with Grant at the center. The once friendly faces of Wheelsey become grotesque, their personalities overridden by the alien's hive mind. Friends and neighbors turn on each other, their individuality consumed by the parasite's need for. I don't have many subscribers yet. All alone I put in so much effort, and no one subscribes. Please do subscribe right now because later you will forget. I promise I'll keep working hard to bring you great content that if you hit bell icon my video notification will come as soon as I upload. Sheriff Bill Party begins piecing together the series of horrifying incidents, animal carcasses, missing people, and increasingly strange sightings reported by terrified townsfolk. His investigations lead him to Grant, whose behavior has become so openly deranged that Bill suspects he's the source of the chaos. When Bill witnesses a woman infected by the alien slugs, convulsing and muttering in Grant's voice, he realizes that this infection is spreading faster than he feared. Rounding up a small group of survivors, including Starla, Bill arms himself with whatever weapons he can find, preparing to confront the evil that has overtaken Grant. Their mission is clear but perilous: face Grant, the host, before the infection spreads beyond Wheelsy. Determined to put an end to Grant's rampage, Bill, Starla, and the remaining survivors plan to infiltrate Grant's now monstrous home, which has been transformed into a fleshy, pulsating lair by the alien organism. The house's walls are coated with a slimy, organic substance, and the air is thick with the smell of decay. They gather makeshift weapons, steel themselves for the horrors within, and share a quiet moment of fear and reflection, unsure if they'll make it out alive. Every step into Grant's lair feels like a descent into hell, with echoes of past screams and alien noises reverberating through the walls. The showdown with Grant is nothing short of nightmarish. He has mutated into a horrifying, multi-limbed creature, his human features barely recognizable under layers of alien flesh. His grotesque form towers over Bill and Starla, his voice a distorted mixture of Grant's memories and the parasite's malevolent will. Starla, heartbroken yet resolute, tries to reach through the alien influence, attempting to appeal to any remnants of her husband's humanity left within him. Bill, armed with a shotgun, tries to create openings for Starla to break through emotionally, but the creature's response is vicious, attacking with all the rage and jealousy of both the alien and the man Grant once was. With the house swarming with infected townsfolk acting as Grant's extensions, Bill and Starla have to fend off relentless attacks. Each infected person they face bears a twisted resemblance to their former selves, making the fight emotionally harrowing. Bill, pushed to his physical and mental limits, watches as Starla faces the nightmare of losing her husband to something so monstrous. As they navigate the hellish landscape of Grant's house, Starla and Bill are forced to confront not only the physical threats but the psychological scars left by this alien horror. The final battle unfolds in Grant's grotesque throne room, where the parasite has merged entirely with his form, turning him into a mass of writhing tentacles and eyes. Bill confronts Grant in a desperate struggle, the monster's strength and alien abilities pushing him to the brink. Starla tries to appeal to any remnants of Grant left, but each attempt is met with hostility. As the fight nears its end, Bill manages to deliver a fatal blow, weakening the alien enough for Starla to strike the final, heartbreaking blow that frees her husband from his monstrous transformation. As the parasite dies, the infected townsfolk collapse, the alien's hold on them finally broken. The town is left devastated, its streets filled with bodies, both human and alien. Bill and Starla stand together, bloodied and exhausted, trying to process the carnage around them. Their grief is palpable as they survey the remnants of their once peaceful town, their faces etched with sorrow for the lives lost and the horror they survived. In the aftermath of this alien nightmare, Wheelsy's survivors are left to rebuild their lives from the ashes. Starla and Bill, forever changed by their experiences, find strength in each other as they attempt to move forward. Their gaze lingers over the wreckage of the town, knowing they've faced an evil from beyond this world,